Hello and welcome to my drone video channel. I got so much positive feedback on my last video of this park that I decided to do a follow-up video on it, showing the rest of the park and some of the features of it. As you remember, the last time I was down by the campsite area down by the river, but this time we're going to more or less spend the video showing the features of the park. It's more than just that little campsite that we saw down by the river, which certainly is an attraction because a lot of people go fishing down there, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I saw this dedication plaque over here embedded in this huge rock, and decided to fly the Spark over here and just take a quick view of that before heading down and taking a look at some of the other sites. The main thing I wanted to come over here, and well, one of the main things is this real nice pavilion. It's I think only 2 years old. You'll see that it looks fairly newly constructed. It's got wood beams. The picnic tables on the inside are all fresh, newly built picnic tables. Even has a supply of firewood there because there's a fireplace right behind the firewood that you see there. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on, but they keep the firewood store supplied not only here but down by the campsite that we previously shot. So here we're flying up close to the pavilion to get a little bit better, and we're going to do sort of like a fly around, at least on a few of the sides, and we're just kind of flying sideways here to give you a look at the nice construction. The roofing material is, as you can see, is asphalt, but underneath that there's a metal layer and a wood layer, and it caused me a little bit of a surprise later on when I tried to fly through this, because it completely blocked out my GPS reception, and so the Spark immediately went into attitude mode, which means that there's no more GPS guidance. You have to fly it on your own. But anyways, here we're rounding the corner. You see all of the refuse, the receptacles are protected from critters and things like that. And there's a couple of barbecue places on the outside with a table for you to set your stuff up on. And we're gonna just take a flight through here underneath the arches, the wooden arches of this pavilion, and you can get a chance to see how nice it looks on the inside here. Nice concrete floor, very well maintained. Tables, as you can see, are very, very new. There's no scratching of names. You saw that little dip there. That was when I realized I was no longer in GPS position hold mode and was in attitude mode, so I quickly had to give a little more throttle because it was wanting to drop there. We're turning now and looking at a nice little fireplace. You see the bricks or stones around there, and the nice benches that they have around that. And we previously had seen the supply of wood there, so anybody that comes here can make use of this this little fireplace area and set up a fire, and there's plenty of wood, and you can sit there and just have a nice I don't know, gathering of family and friends. Because it's a township park, there's no alcohol allowed in the park, but I'm sure that as you know, sometimes when younger people come down here, they find ways of getting that stuff in. This is a look at the the downhill portion of a sled run, which it gets a lot of use in the winter. And we're going to go into high speed mode here and just zip down this hill as though we were on a sled. And then when we get to the bottom, we're going to turn around and go up at a little bit of a slower speed so that you get an idea of what this hill is like. I myself have not been on any kind of a sled, or have come down here when the weather is favorable for sledding. But I have a friend who used to bring his kids down here that enjoyed it. If you look on the left-hand side there, you see there's walkways for you to get up and down the hill, and that's a great improvement over the hills that I used to sled down when I was young. We used to have to struggle to make our way back up. Going past the little fireplace and the firewood supply over there, now heading towards the parking lot. My little white Subaru there is on the left. They have a very nice restroom facility that's fairly it's modern compared to a lot of the other facilities that I've seen at other parks. Nice and clean, and it doesn't offend you with malodorous smells when you go in. Let's put it that way. There's the entrance to the park off of the road. So we're turning around here, and after you see this part, I did land, put in a fresh battery, and decided to go and shoot another portion of the park, which is a walkway and a path that they have here for people just to hike or take their dogs on a walk or whatever. So we're going to fly up, and actually I'm on the other side of my car, just looking at my viewing device, and we're just flying this by way of the viewing device because we're really kind of out of line of sight. Once the Spark gets more than 150 feet away from you, you can't really see it. It's so small. There's a post that you see right in the center of the trail, and that's to keep four-wheelers off of it. And on the right side, a little doggy-doo dispenser for people that are taking their dogs on walks over here, so they can clean up after their dog and keep things looking nice. And just kind of flying slowly down here, down the park. I'm trying pretty desperately to look in my viewing device, which is a Galaxy Note 4 cell phone, to make sure I'm not going to come up on any branches. Several years ago, I was flying through a forested area with one of my camera drones and didn't see a branch that was sticking out and caused me to run into it. But we had no problem with that this time, and we're going to go a little bit further down here. We're not going to quite go around that bend. I didn't, at least at this point, I could hear it and have the sense that I was at least somewhat in contact with it, and I didn't want to go around the bend because then it would definitely be out of sight. We're turning around and seeing a view of the forested area. It's not fully matured, not fully grown up, but we're going to go back at a little bit of increased speed here back down the path, since we've already seen what it looks like here. But I just wanted to give you a look at the path, and up in the parking lot there while I was doing this, and of course not paying attention to anything going on in the parking lot. A couple guys came in there in a car. They had New York license plates on them, and one guy was from New York, one guy was from New Jersey. They had full waders on, and they were had fly rods, and were down at the area which I had shot last time in the Grand River, and they were fishing and had caught at least one steelhead. You see them; they were quite entertained by being on the drone, and I gave them a link to to where my videos are. Anyways, thanks for stopping by and watching. I hope you enjoyed this second look at Riverview Park. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined. And again, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this second look.